Hello and welcome to Tech Tuesday. I'm thrilled that you're here. We have a great show lined up for you, but before we get started, let's run our intro. Welcome to Tech Tuesday, Jack. I'm thrilled that you're here.
Well, it's a thrill to be here, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I have been in staff meetings with Jack, and so it's really special to have you with us today. If you're new to Jack, he has been writing for Senior Living Foresight for many years and moved into a CCRC in 2006. And he's become very active in senior housing because of it. So I wanted to have him on today to talk about the top 10 tech devices that your residents need to know about today. Okay. And so Jack is going to act as the questioning resident. Do I need this? Do I not need this? And Jack, before we get started, I want to know from you, what are some of your favorite tech devices?
Well, first, I think I'm the 11th gadget here today, so I'm probably the oldest. But the favorite one is the Amazon Omni television, which allows a full voice interaction. And I noticed that that works not only for me, and I love technology, but for many residents. The television is probably the most underutilized appliance in a senior living apartment.
Yeah, you are so right. In fact, originally I was going to include a voice activated remote because I think that they are amazing. They're absolutely 100% more convenient than having to type in whatever it is you're looking for. And however, there are so many variations and variables that once it gets too nuanced, then I just say, I can't really talk about it all together. So if you are interested in looking into a voice activated remote, find one that works well with your TV first and or any digital assistant that you're currently using.
Or go directly to the Amazon Omni, which doesn't require that you talk into the remote, but lets you just talk naturally.
Yeah, by using your digital assistant. Great. I'm glad that you verified and clarified that. Well, let's go ahead and hop right into this. Now, I did ask several people on various in various groups what they thought was the most necessary tech device for their residents. And so partially I have gathered up information from research, but a lot of it has to do with me working one-on-one with residents, with your residents, and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and what I recommend time and time again so that your residents can use their technology so they can connect with their family and friends. And so the first one I want to talk about today is a smart plug. Now, hold on one second. I just want to be able to talk about this. Jack, have you ever used a smart plug before?
We have a number of smart plugs throughout our house, which are very convenient. I must say I'm too lazy to just get up and walk across the room, but my favorite is being able to say, Alexa, good night, and the lights go off.
I love it. I love it. So these smart plugs, operators, if you want to keep your residents safe, use the smart plug for turning on and off devices such as voice activated lights, right? For midnight bathroom trips. Did you know that overall 34% of falls were related to nighttime trips to the bathroom? It's true. So you can use these so that your residents can easily turn on the light when they're getting up. So that's my first one. Now, my second one is a printer cable. Now, I know that this is just such a simple thing, right? Let's go ahead and put it on the printer cable app picture if we can, please. Thank you. And okay, the printer cable. So I will tell you, we get so many calls at Senior Savvy for people whose printers are not working on the Wi-Fi. And so what I always do is I carry one of these in my trunk because it happens so frequently. And what this is good for, especially if you're in IT or you're having to regularly work on someone's printer, is what you need to do is you just need to plug this in the back of the computer to the printer, which will often forge a connection, a wireless connection. It is the simplest fix, but a lot of people don't know about it. And for the most part, these are universal. So you can order one or two or three. They're about $8 at the most. And you can just plug it in and then you've got the connection and then your Wi-Fi and your computer reads it. It's amazing. So simple. Jack, have you ever struggled with this before?
Uh, well, we run our printers on a router, but we do have to switch off the provider provided internet to use our router. So we have a little switching back and forth. But we have a tech assistant on staff here, and so connecting printers is one of the biggest jobs that that tech assistant has to take on. So I'm familiar with that. It's a big challenge when you have campus-wide Wi-Fi working that doesn't allow private routers.
Absolutely. And this is the simplest solution, which is why I'm always keeping one of these in my trunk and equipping our Senior Savvy tech support specialists with these cables. So simple. Yes, a wire can forge a wireless connection. That's right. It's just the best. So that is the second one. Now, the third one is one I see all the time, which I've got to talk to you about. And here's how I see this. All right. Either my client is using a trackpad, okay, to mouse around, or they're using a mouse that's too small for their hand, or it's hurting their hands. So the first thing I recommend is get a mouse. Okay. Instead of using the trackpad, get a mouse, because I see a lot of user error. This is when you accidentally touch the trackpad and something comes up and something happens and then the whole screen changes. Now, this is just so common that it's another thing that I've kept in my goodie bag, which is just a mouse to plug in and see, are you more successful using a mouse rather than using your trackpad? Jack, has this ever happened to you?
I hate the trackpad. I absolutely hate it because you start typing and the palm of your hand touches that trackpad and you're suddenly typing in a area where you don't even want to be. And I love the mouse you've given us a picture of. That thing is so sensuous. I can't wait to get my hands on one of them.
Let's show the picture again. And the reason, it comes in all colors, but pink is actually my favorite color, which is why I chose it. So there it is. Yeah, it's a Logitech. And I have links for all of these devices. You can email me later and I'll put my email address down in the chat and I can send you the links for all of these devices. I just like pink, but I also like for my clients to be comfortable. And the way this has an ergonomic design, it's sort of like a handshake. So if you put your hand in the handshake mode, you're not like cramped on top of it. It's in a handshake mode, which is more ergonomically designed, especially if you're struggling with arthritis. So I've tried out many of these, and this is the most comfortable one. It also has a palm rest. I totally recommend it. Okay, so that is the ergonomic mouse. Next, we're going to talk about something I know is very popular, and it's the Echo Show. Now, the first couple of tech items I showed you, those are just simple, easy fixes. The next couple are going to require a little bit of support. But in the long run, it's going to help you as an operator save precious time. Because with an Echo Show, your residents can hold things up and they can ask the Echo Show, Alexa, what am I holding? Alexa, what does this pill bottle say? Alexa, tell me what's on the calendar. And so your residents can see and have it read back to them. It is brilliant. Jack, have you ever used one of these in this way?
I use the the equivalent regularly. But I can tell you a quick story of our community here. We have a little tech committee, and we started with the Echo Dot. And what we did as a committee, we bought 5 of them and gave them without any charge to residents to try out with the pay it forward idea. That if the resident tried it for a month or 2 and found they really liked it, then they would contribute into the fund to buy more Echo Dots. So we have roughly 70% of the residents using Echo Dots. Not all of them have upgraded yet to the Echo Show, but the Echo Show has great benefit. Now, I mentioned before that I have the Amazon Omni television, and that's almost ready for prime time, but not quite there yet because they have not put a camera and an adequate microphone into the television yet. Nobody has. And so you have to add that. But I do use that television to drop in on my sister. My sister lives in another continuing care retirement community. And she's at the point where the drop-in feature works better than just calling. The idea of her getting up and going across the room is difficult. And it's wonderful to have that ability to just talk to the television and drop in on my sister and have a delightful visit and then to go back to what we're doing. So I really recommend these, the Echo Show, which I think will be usurped by the television, an Echo television, as soon as Amazon is able to bring the television into its ecosystem. And that's why I said originally the television is the most underutilized appliance in the house, because providers can deliver so much content if we just get all the functionality of an Echo Show into a decent television.
There's something I want to queue up over here for you. Give me just a second. I have a video I want to show you that I will often use as a demonstration for my students when I want to show them, but it keeps going off. So bear with me one second. I'm just queuing it up. And so
while you're queuing that up, I can answer this question that Paul Urbano asks. And yes, you do. There are Echo challenges with HIPAA and Echo, which are being worked out. So there are programs and systems that can run on the Echo Show, particularly if you want to have a telehealth visit, that are fully HIPAA compliant. But you do have to be sure, if you're using it for a purpose that requires HIPAA compliance, that the application that is running is HIPAA compliant.
Thank you, Jack. Okay, hang tight. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. I want to show you this video of how to use the Echo Show if you are visually challenged. Here we go.
I don't know how I get inspired. I just love texture and color. Alexa, call Alicia.
Alicia still has mobile from Camille.
As I lost my sight, I kept trying to find a better way to be creative.
Hi, Camille.
Hi, Alicia. Can you help me? I can't see what color this is.
Yeah, it's black and white striped.
Oh, great. Thank you. Alexa, play the marvelous Miss Maisel.
Mitch walks on stage. She stops before the mic and faces the audience.
So the nice thing about the Echo Show is again hands-free, which is really a plus for me.
I love this part.
Alexa, what am I holding?
Let's see. 365 garlic granules.
I talk to it all day long. It's my new best friend, I guess you might say. Alexa, what's the weather outside?
Right now in Seattle, it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
Put this on, we're gonna go out for a little walk. Forward.
I love that. Don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Right. I love for people to see what it's capable of doing so that they can see how they can integrate it into their lives. So that is the Echo Show. I can only expect that there are going to be more integrations in the upcoming years. Yeah. Okay. Let's now move on to what can become a full-time job. And that is putting your medications together. Am I right or am I right? A lot of times when I'm calling my folks, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm sorting my pills right now. Or my mom will say, I accidentally put one in the wrong slot. And we talk about this all the time. So the first one I want to show you is a smart pill dispenser. And so this is an electronic pill dispenser. It has an alarm with monthly medication organization built into it. It's about $75. And boy, if it can save you some time and any medical repercussions from overdosing or not taking your prescriptions the right way, this will be so handy. Now, here's another one. It's a Bluetooth smart pill dispenser. And this has sounds and lights and alarms. And when I first looked at both of these, I thought, oh my gosh, this looks so complicated. But it's really handy, especially if you have to be reminded regularly to take your medication at a certain time. And I know many people struggle with that. Jack, are you using anything like this right now?
I just use old-fashioned pill dispensers, and I have one that's for evening and one that's for morning. But you're right. I do take 11 different pills, all of which have been prescribed by a physician. It might be that if I went to the right doctor, I could get rid of a bunch of them, but that's the way it is now, and I religiously lay them out. The challenge that I found is not so much, I can set a reminder on my smartphone to remember to take them. The difficulty is putting them into the little boxes. And as far as I know, nobody has yet put in something where you can put the pills in bulk and bring them out. There is a machine, On-Site RX, which I think is put out by a company named Ascribe, that does that, but it is too expensive for individual residents. So that could be a very valuable feature.
I agree. And because medical errors harm at least 1.5 million people every year. So this is definitely something to consider when you want to keep your residents safe. The next one I want to talk about is called a photo stick. And the photo stick can solve a lot of your problems. If you get stuck in the hallway or your concierge or your IT folks are regularly helping people take photos off of their devices, because that is a preoccupation for a lot of people, is reducing your cloud storage. So the photo stick helps you to find and sort thousands of your favorite photos and videos and easily take them off and sort them on a drive for you. So this is a pretty simple recovery process. This is a pretty simple process. It has ends for any type of device. And boy, oh boy, this would definitely come in handy. So now I want to move on to something that is the answer for when the tech gets too complicated. Because I do get this call often from my clients' children. They'll say, you know what, the Mac has gotten too complicated for dad, or all he wants to do is just check email, and there are all these software updates and he can't do that. So there is a computer that I want you to know about. It's called the Telekin. And they have amazing plug and play. I've set these up. They are so simple to set up, but it's an easy to use computer. It combines video chat, photo sharing, email, and all of like the most popular things you would want to do in a touchscreen. It comes in various make and models, but this is specifically to recommend when the tech gets too complicated. Okay. Have you ever heard of the Telekin before, Jack?
Well, I think I have. There's a couple of these. Grand Care has one, and they are helpful. They're sort of there's one that's advertised regularly in the AARP magazine. I forget what it's called, but frankly, I haven't tried them. And most residents, I find, are resistant to having something that's tailored just for residents because they don't want to be old. They want to. So if their grandchildren like it, then they like it. So finding that delicate path. By the way, Paula's been concerned about privacy here. We ought to just say a note about that. And she questioned the drop-in feature on the Alexa. And my experience is that residents are very concerned about privacy until something happens that makes them afraid they may wind up on the floor and nobody notices. And then suddenly they're happy to have people checking on them. Now with my sister, you have to opt in. The person who's going to be dropped in has to opt into that feature. And and they choose the people they're going to allow to drop in on them. So I think that is pretty well addressed as best you can so that we can help those people who are willing to forego privacy to have more security, and we can still protect those who still feel that they don't want anybody ever seeing what they're doing in their living room.
Right. Great point. Great point there. Well, I want to now move on because you mentioned just a moment ago about not wanting something that isn't cool, or but I want to show you something that is really cool. And this is the Camino Smart Walker. All right. And I know many people are using walkers. I know that there's a lot of challenge around them, both the size and the mobility, and actually the way people are kind of hunched over as well. So I want to share with you something that came on my desk. And so this is the Smart Walker. It's stylish on the outside, it's smart on the inside, and it's simple to use. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you over here and give you a little bit of a background, a little bit more. There we go. You know, I think I have to take this other one off first before I share my screen. Yeah, great. There it is. Here we go. So I want to share this with you. I'm really, really impressed by it. When I'm working with my clients, I see a lot of people struggling with their walkers. And the main point of the Camino is that it gives you a little boost uphill and a little break downhill. So it moves with you. There are no buttons, no levers. It's just like magic. And it has this compact mode, okay, which can be folded in seconds. And let me show you that because I love this, because what I see is a big challenge when there are many walkers at your community. They all have to get moved, right, to another room so that they're not in the hallways. And with the Camino Walker, you can make it into a compact mode and fit it under your seat so that you are not without it at any time. I don't know about you, but that would be very comforting to me. Plus, it has this narrow mode, which means that you can get down an aisle easily. You can make it in a hallway, down the airplane aisle without having to have your walker taken away from you. And so I want to show you a couple of other things here. like I mentioned, it has this assisting and the braking. It also has the ability to track your gait and activity analytics. And let me show you this because I'm just so impressed by this technology. Check this out, Jack. Look at how he is walking, and the numbers are tracking with his gait at the same time. And so eventually you could share that with your physician in order to get a better idea of how you can walk better. But overall, that's going to help you to walk more. And if it gets you to walk more, boy, oh boy, isn't that making your residents happier because they're walking, they're moving, they're healthier. What do you think about it?
I think that's very cool. I like the way it folds up. I'm not sure. Some people load up their walkers with stuff. I'm not sure whether that would all fold into it. But I must confess that at the leading age meeting in Denver, there was a vendor there who had a machine that measured your gait electronically and predicted your fall predictability. And they told me that I was in grave danger of falling. So I thought, gosh, I may be soon on a walker. And so I've been hoping that someone would come along and devise a gyroscopic exoskeleton that I could just put on in the morning and I would never fall all day. But I fear that I may soon have to have one of these devices. And this one looks like it might be a fun one to start with. It has a lot of practicability because one of the big challenges is getting those darn things into a car if you want to go somewhere. This
Right?
one looks like it would fold up and just slide into the trunk. That's very cool.
Yes, it is. You can fold it up and slide it into the trunk, and it's pretty light too. I think it's about 17 pounds. I could be wrong, but and it sounds like someone's used one, yeah, and said it was very lightweight. So let's see. You can take this one. To lift it, it's 22 pounds, but it folds nearly like into a cabin baggage size and has no trailing wires, so it's very easy to move and to store. And let's see, does it have a basket? Yes, there are these various accessories like a cup holder and a basket that you can add to it, like we see here in the picture. There we go. So yeah, see it there in the picture, cup holder. I know I like to have a cup holder myself and a little basket. And those handles are fully adjustable so that you're not hunched over like I see so many people when they're walking with a walker. I just love it. It's going to be on the market and early. I think they're taking advanced orders for it right now. And so it's in the beta program right now in the Phoenix area. And they're expanding nationally in the new year. Yeah, Jack, you might be the first one in your community to use it.
I might.
Great. Well, based on the things that we talked about today, there's something else I want to tell you, and that is the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch, as well as your iPhone, is tracking your walkingness, your walking steadiness, just so you know. It's designed to do that. So if you wanted to view your risk assessment, you could do that as well with your Apple phone.
How do you do that? I haven't. I've been in this Healthline study that's run by J&J and Apple, but I wasn't aware that it would handle that gait feature. Is that a particular app?
No, it's not. It's built into your phone, and I can definitely meet with you and show you where that is.
That's okay. I'll Google or go on YouTube.
Oh, Jack, it would be my honor to show you anytime. Really, really. Now, there was one more thing I wanted to mention to you, and these are non-tech, but they're motion-censored nightlights. Motion-censored nightlights. They can detect light up to like 25 feet away. And I think that these are brilliant. They're genius. And this also helps reduce nighttime falls. Definitely. Yep. And the walking steadiness, Jack, is in your health app, just so you know. Yeah. Great. And people are thrilled that you're here, as am I. Well, I want to thank you all for being here with me. And I have a handout that I can send to you with links to all of these options. And I want to give you the opportunity to reach out to me and I will send you the link. You can also DM me on LinkedIn anytime. And for our viewers today, you guys have been wonderful and in participating in the chat, and I can't thank you enough. So again, thank you for being with me. Jack, thank you for being with us today. Operators, I hope you learned something new that you can take to your community and help your residents to be safer. And we will see you all back here next week for Tech Tuesday. Thank you.